In our first episode, we met Jake, a young man from a small Midwestern town, home on leave from the Navy. He had just taken possession of a small farm left to him by an uncle, along with a $50,000 life insurance policy. In this episode, while Jake is trying to decide what to do with the farm, he figured he better go ahead and clean up around the place first. At least that way, if it looks better, it'll sell better, if that's what he decides to do. One of his uncle's neighbors, a man by the name of Sam Ortega, came by with his tractor and brush hog, while Jake took a chainsaw to a couple of trees that had sprung up. Between the two of them, they managed to clean up around the yard pretty well. Afterwards, Jake took to fixing up the old 55 Chevy to get it running again. A new battery, some spark plugs, oil change, fuel pump, rebuilt carburetor, a couple things like that, and it was running pretty good. Doesn't look that great, but a pressure washing sure helped out a little bit. After putting down a deposit and getting the electric back on, minimal cleanup got the well pump back up and running again. Jake also cleaned up inside the house a little bit. He donated some of the household items that he didn't need and a lot of his uncle's old clothes to a local thrift store. Jake's going to see about plowing under that withered oak crop. Ms. Nicholson next door is letting Jake borrow a tractor and a plow to get that done. Jake told her that he'd help her harvest her wheat crop next week while he's still on leave. It had been a while since Jake was on a tractor, but he was beginning to remember how much he enjoyed working this small field with his uncle. Looked like there's going to be a lot of stone to pick up when he gets finished plowing, though. As he watched the sun set after his full day working in his field, he began to wonder what it might be like to bring this little farm back to life. July arrived with a bang, quite literally, and after enjoying the 4th of July parade and fireworks, it was time to help Ms. Nicholson harvest her wheat field. For the last few years, the person Ms. Nicholson hired to help her on the farm was a young woman named Lisa. Lisa was already up and at the farm, had the combine set up, and was busy harvesting the wheat field already. She was going to run the combine and have Jake run the tractor and trailer. And if he worked hard enough, she might even let him run the combine later. Jake was just happy to help unload the combine for Lisa. The Nicholson farm had a small silo where they were going to store all of this wheat. One of the other neighbors had a larger tractor and trailer that they were going to use to haul all of this wheat to the grain mill a little later. Now that the harvest was complete, the next job was to bale all the straw. Once again, Sam Ortega had stepped up to the plate and loaned them his old baler. He had just recently replaced that old baler with a new round baler, but he was using that one right now, putting up his own straw. The baler needed just a little bit of work to get it going properly, but once it was up and running, it did the work just fine. It took a while to hand stack all of these bales on the trailer, and they had to make a couple of runs to store these in the barn. It's a lot of work to hand stack a field full of straw bales. It's hot, dusty, but Jake thought it was pretty good exercise too. Ms. Nicholson asked them to stack those bales in the old pig barn that they don't use much anymore. A lot of times she will sell those bales to local farmers, or she'll donate them to a local stable. Last few days had seen Jake get a lot of work accomplished around that little farm. He got the yard around the house cleaned up pretty good. Got the old chicken coop cleaned up as well. And took care of getting all of that withered oat plowed under. This field is ready to have some seed planted now. The old pickup truck is up and running, although it needs a paint job and maybe some new tires, but it'll work good for now. One of the next things he's probably going to want to tackle is getting this tractor running again. Ms. Nicholson really appreciated all the work that Lisa and Jake did, helping her with her wheat field. Ms. Nicholson fixed them all a nice supper to enjoy that evening, and the three of them sat around the kitchen table talking about what they had got accomplished today. Jake admitted that it was hard work today in the field, but it was hard work that he really enjoyed. He also told the two ladies that he had a lot of time to think today while they were working, and he had pretty much decided that he would want to hang on to the farm and do his best to bring it back to life. So the sun sets on another day of work here at Flatbroke Farm. Jake's leave was ending in a few days, and he would have to return to work. But his current enlistment would be up soon. As soon as he can arrange to be discharged from the service, he's going to return to town and do his best to get this little farm working again. Well, I hope you enjoyed this second episode of Flatbroke Farm. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Be sure and leave me a comment below as to what you think might be the next step for Jake in his quest to get this farm up and running again. Please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to be notified when the next video posts. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.